After the Torah, mitoich yisurim. The Rambam elaborates on this in Hichlas Talmud Torah, in Hichlas Deis, excuse me. You can read it there. Also in Hichlas Talmud Torah, if you want to be zeichel a kisser shel Torah, you have to walk away from tafnukim. You shouldn't put why, because once we get used to tafnukim, we stop thinking seriously. But it doesn't mean lechatchila to live like a poor, like a church mouse. Right. So right in the Mishnah, al tevakish dula la'atzmacha. So open up, ich weiß was, ich weiß, a nesivus, or a shach, open up a shach. You want to shear and I need total command of the material to the length and the breadth. It goes like this. And you say, wow, that's called knowing, you're not even holding by hopefully, maybe by the time you finish your career person, that's more than enough for another. All you have to do is simply look at the godless of Torah and understand. So out there, I say, in Yiddishkeit. The second nest was bigger than the first nest. For God to give is a nest, but the God never takes back what he gives. Gemirulon, Meyiv, Yoiv, Mishkol, Loi, Shakel. Gemirulon, when we learn Gemirulon means we have it Kabbalah Misinai. Mishkol, Loi, Shakel, he never takes it back. And that he took back there is a Nes Shebednis. The biggest side, Nafkemina for Shvuas. Whatever you got on Shvuas, you should know he never took it back. The Ramban says it in Mefurish. Ramban said that although it seems that there was a second krisis abris for the Luchas Shniyos, he says it was only near a krisis bris. It was nothing more than a chizuk bris because the first bris was never mufer. There state in Ramban. It's a very important Ramban to learn when you learn at the end of the Teichah, etc. Where there he discusses, in the end of the Luchas, the Teichah, the Luchas Shnis, which is in Bamidbar. Okay, and also Derech Hagav, also in the Teichah Chulkaisai, where there it discusses that the Teichah is part of the creases of bris of the Luchas Shniyos. That's what the Ramban discusses, because the Teichah ends Eila Chukim HaMishpatim, etc. Asher Tziva Bar Sinai. The other Ramban explained that the Teichah is an added addition to the bris. So he said that not that they needed a new bris, he had to add things to the old bris to make to strengthen it. But there's no such thing as breaking. God doesn't break. There's no such thing as taking back. I gave myself to you. You have me. You don't know what to do with me. It's a problem. But ich bin du. That's a big cloud. That Gemara should be in front of your eyes constantly. Chofei, I think it is a medallic kindness. Gemirulon de Meiv Mishamaya. I think that's a lashon. Mishamaya Meiv Yoiv Mishkul Lo Shakel. Okay, so you should look into that. That's the shulchan. That your shulchan means the shulchan olam haba will be bigger. V'kischa gadol mikisron. What's meant kischa gadol mikisron? It could be talking about ba'olam hazeh that your stature is more important, or it could be talking about shtei tzadikim yoshim ateiseim bereishem v'nenem eziz hashchina. That the keser is the idea of the ribui chachma that the person has. That means ateiseim bereishem. The klal is that means to say that you have a shaykhus to a chachma more than your mind. That's why the keser is a marshal for something which is surrounds your head, but it's above your head. Those who learn certain disciplines know that's called the midas hakeser. The pshat is the chachma prior. It's that which precedes chachma, which is more than chachma, and that's called kiss. That's pshat kischa. God let me show kischa, and you have a bigger keser, just like the shulchan. We're talking about olam haba. So mistaver that the keser is talking about olam haba. Noch steht weiter, v'nemu ba'malatlo she'yisham chescha pulascha, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu will pay you. He will pay you. We're not worried about. Right. Look, one more. This is big hakdamis for Shavuos. Okay, this is Takei super important Mishnah. I'll never forget. When I was a young bacher, the older Rosh Yeshiva Zechron Lebracha of Chatzkel Sarn and Chevron Yeshiva. So his grandson, remember his son Yosef, his name was Farbstein. Forgot his first name. Doesn't matter. He was a young kid. Oh, that was Elchanan. Yeah. And so they made the bar mitzvah in the cheder ochel of the yeshiva. What was the drasha, the bar mitzvah bacher that the Zayda taught him? To say this Mishnah over Balpeh and understand it. The memches dvarim shatayra niknus. This was the drasha. The child said over the memches dvarim and explained every piece. This was the drasha, a tremendous drasha. I think we should all know this Mishnah because it's very important. Vashteda. Why Shamalchus niknus b'shloishim milos. And this is explained in the Rashi and also in the Rashi Be'ikar. Okay, I'm not going to explain that part because that's not neged to me at the moment. What's neged to me is Torah is niknas barboim u'shmeina dvarim. You need 48 things, maisim or tzuras to make a kinyan in Torah. What are they? And this is what we have to know. First of all, Talmud, medaf lernen. One. It's a very simple thing to do. That's the first one. Then the Shmias Oizen, you have to be able to listen. Barichas Fatayim, you have to be able to speak in an organized way. Aricha, that means it is set, it is Masuder. Okay? You have to learn how to you have to learn, you have to listen, and then you have to be able to articulate and form it. Bebina Salev. You have to have an intuitive understanding. Ubesichlus. Now, in the sichlus is, I think, your source, if I recall. It says, Gerard writes Legar Sinan, right? Okay. And then it says, V'chein oyeves atzdakais. It says, Oyeves ve'ema be'yira. The pshat is two different sense of ema. Is literally, you're standing almost terrified in front of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Be'yira, you stand in awe of a Kadosh Baruch Hu ba'anava. One has to have a basic humility. For simcha, you have to be a happy person. Because if you're a grouch, as I told you 100 times, my Ram once told me, one of the Rosh Yeshivas says, if you make a crooked face, the sparrow will go in crooked. You know, you go like this, you won't understand the words. You have to have a pain of tzeichika. Say to Razog, Taseh patzuf akuma, asferati kanes akuma. Taseh patzuf yashar, asferati kanes yashar. Dos meint besimcha. Was steht weiter? Beshimush chachamim. Tak is shimush with shimush chachamim, because then they didn't have a shulchan aruch. You had to simply be mishamish them to be able to have kinyanim, to know what to do and when. Piskei halachas, etc. That you learn things which are, we see in the Gemara, they even went under the person's bed to see how he's noig in his intimacy with his wife. They even did that. The Gemara says, what are you doing? The Torah, he will limit on tzorich. That's called Shimush Tamid Chacham. B'digduk Chaverim, that's very important for friends. What are friends for? To be medagdek. What does digduk mean when it's not pilpul? What's mean digduk? Literally, meticulous forensic reading or thinking. Digduk, number one, a very important thing. The second thing he answers is pilpul at Talmidah. Yes, so, let's hear what you have to say and extrapolate new halacha. So digduk is with a chavrusa, you learn out on the blot. Afterwards, when you want to make a shtickle of the Torah, the pupil, you're moving mikan the sham the kan. This is what the Talmidim. Dr. Vaiter be Yishuv. You have to be able to sit in an at patience. Yishuv means also Yishuv Adas. It means patience. B'mikra, you have to be able to know your Chumash and Tanakh. Very important thing, which Le'aleinu in the Orthodox community, they somehow skip this part of the basis of learning. Mikra, you have to know Mikra, and then Mishnah. Mishnah means you have to know what we call the text of the Mishnayos and the Brises. Then you also have Miut Sechaira. You have to do Sechaira, but you have to understand it has to be only needed what's needed for your Parnasa. Miut Sheina, go tell this to young Bacher. Take Miut Sheina, Kipshuta. You mean you make your own cheshbonis, what's needed for your health, but don't think you have to sleep more than that, okay? And somehow, you're still growing. So your stomach, you probably need 7 hours. Okay, I have a very simple cheshbon. You need 7 hours to sleep. You need another 2 hours for davening and eating. Okay, and 3 hours, they give you a break. That's 10 hours. No, you also have to throw a ball around and read a book, a list of music. Good. Noch zwei Shah. Like this 12 hours, eating, sleeping, and this right, davening. You got 12 full hours to sit and learn. You make the cheshbon. Okay? That's what it should look like. That would be miut sheina, miut isik v'schayra. Miut tainuk. Don't go waste, you know what I mean? Some guys decide to go into, to make a bubble bath. Once you go, relax. For some freaking waste of time, man. It's just relax. You take what's needed, but you don't marber b'tainuk. But miut schoik, very important. Miut schoik, you know what I mean? The guy think you got to just having a good mood and a balanced person doesn't mean joking. But miut derech, you have to work try to be less in the shuk. Derech means the idea of walking in the market and dealing, with businesses, etc. But erech hapayim, oh yeah, you have to have erech hapayim. You really have to be able to have patience, not to be marble lichos. You have to have patience. Why? Because when you learn, there's going to be beating each other. Let me tell you. And if you don't have erech hapayim, you're going to lose your chavrusa. If you have a good chavrusa, he's going to beat you over the head. If you have a chavrusa which hugs you every time you say something, oh yeah, I love it. Your mama shake the mother of Rabbi Shmuel that drank the water that he washed his feet with. You're not going to know too much. But you're going to have chavrusa which is going to have a sufa, so you have to have erech hapayim. Let me tell you. Okay, belev toiv. But this is kipshutai, belev toiv. Be'amunas chachamim, what does this mean? This has been convoluted in the worst way, so one has to explain this. It simply means, because beforehand we did not have, you have to trust that the people who teach us the brises and the mishnayos, which all was Baal Peh Bismanoi, that they're accurate representatives of the tradition. It doesn't mean believe them if they tell you to vote for Aguda, or to believe Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim says, all you got to do is they say Bua 6 times and you won't have corona. No, that's not called the Amunas Chacham. You don't have to believe it. Don't believe any. You believe God and hopefully your wife. That's about it. Okay? And Amunas Chacham, you have to be mamin b'chachmei amisoira. Not for what? To tell you that basically this is the truth. What does it mean the truth? Not a pshat and a taisha, you don't have to have Amunah. Believe me. No. Al Pidin, you can argue with the Tana. The Shtetn Fush and Rambam. The only reason you're not arguing with the Tana because you're freaking scared. Because you feel like Mickey Mouse compared to Hulk. That's Al Pidin, Rafush, Rambam, Hifas Mamrim. You can argue with the Tana, not on a Pirush Mekubal Messinai, not on the Messiah, but on his Chidushim. Yeah, if you think you know enough to be argued, Gesundheit. The only reason the Amoraim didn't argue because they were scared. They realized that compared to the godless of the Tanoim, they're like, literally, they say they're like jackasses, right? Im rishonim k'anoshim anu k'chamayrim, im rishonim k'malachim anu k'bnei adam. So look into the mirror and buy yourself 2 floppy things in a tail, and that's what you should be looking at. Compared when you want to argue with the Rashba and the Ritva, very simple. They should pin the tail on the donkey, and you'll be there. Does make the Amunas Chacham. Amunas Chacham respect the Chachmei HaMessiah, that what they're saying of the Messiah is accurate. It doesn't mean you have to respect or agree with their Havana, but that they're telling you over accurately the Perish Mekubal Messinai, that you have to believe it. Right to the dinners you can argue with. If there was a dinner, the Muna and everything then said, so how can we say that? How can an Amora argue with a Tana? All you have to do, all you have to say is Das Torah, finished. Tomorrow, no, I wouldn't be able to argue with the Reb Kiva, right? What do you mean? You have to listen. Why do you have to listen to the Vazai State? Who says? I don't know. Doesn't say it anyway. The Shura, Emunas L'Chamim means nothing more than Emunah in the Shalshelis Kabbalah and the exact Messiah of Pirush Mekubal Messinai. Today, Baruch Hashem, everything is written. So you really don't need this anymore. You need this to believe that which is printed and written, hopefully with the right manuscripts, that's something else. Okay? But if you get the right manuscript, said this is the Maisa, the Amud, the Shashel, Kabbalah, Ad Sinai. You basically have to believe in the list found in the beginning of Pirkei Avos. That's what Amunas Chachamim means. Weiter. That was an important thing to say. Kabbalah Sayisur. And you have to be makabel yisurim because you have to realize if you know the truth, whatever they give you, you know, and he knows that you owe more, and whatever he's giving you is tremendous. He's doing you a great favor. Doing a great favor. He's cleaning you up here so you'll have it better and nice and nickness. So we have to work on this. We have to work on this because this is the tzur that you develop a kinyan. It basically teaches you, think. Listen, nothing state right, ain't finished yet. What else is there? Makres mekaymai. You have to know your station. Like, don't jump. Relax. Hasamech bechelkoi. You don't have an ayin gdoila like Bilam, nefesh rechava like Bilam. You're samech bechelkoi. You're not looking to become enriched and who knows what. Therefore, you're able to focus on your learning. But Isis Yaglid Dvarov. Okay, in other words, he's mudud and mishul and shakul. Makes a siaglid for He doesn't talk freely. He doesn't pat himself on the back the whole day. Okay, and I'm going to add, and doesn't need other people to pat him either. Okay. Oh, basically, that type of person is a loved person, and he loves God. You can't be a real kind of Torah if you hate people. You're verquetscht in the shama. Verquetscht in the shama, you're not a clay kibble for chachma. Okay, you're mitztamik v'yafaloi. That's good, for a chont, for atmana and bishul. But mitztamik v'yafaloi is rama oit for Torah. You can't be a mitzumak. You can't shrivel. Okay. The state oivis abrius, oivis atznakas. You love truth, righteousness. I need you here. What for? You think you need him for shtickle Torah, for the Maisalach? You need him for different teichacha. That's what he used to do. He had a meichiach. Today, if anybody's meichiach, you love straightforward things. Misrachik min hakavod. You don't need people Meg is not so sure of himself before he's not going to pass you right away just because it's slowly. At the end, they're their hands for the shach. You can disagree, but relax. I can tell you right now, I can argue many times with the shach. But when it comes to Psaktin and Shulchan Aruch, let me tell you, unless I have 50 others sniff him, the shach is who takes the cake. You can dance enough and you can dance on the roof from today to tomorrow. You're going to pass on that shach. Right? Or a Nesivus. A Nesivus, are you kidding? You don't walk away from the Nesivus here and I didn't tell you. I want you to know, with the choice, it's not the end of the world. The Nesivus ain't no such thing. You'll see. One day you'll learn. He's not happy, go lucky that he has a dinner to paskin. Let me tell you, it's a terrible thing to do. But he cares about people and therefore is sensitive to other people's trials and tribulations. Machriya lekapschus, he's always machriya people lekapschus. Ma'amidai ala emes, he helps people see truths. A big yesod. This all key of Torah. You have to be this type of a person to finally have a kesser Torah the way it should be done. Ma'amidai ala shalom, you try to find harmony between people. Misyashiv libay b'talmudai, he's well thought out and comfortable in his learning. Shayalu meishiv, he acts, he answers. Shemea, he listens to Maisiv and he adds up on his dinim. Alaymed amanas lamed, he learns hopefully to share his Torah with people. Alaymed amanas lasois, that's also what he does in his Torah. Hamachkim es rabbi, it's not an easy thing to do. V'amechavin es shmuasai, he's accurate in his shmua. V'aymer davar b'shem aymer, he's not a plagiarist. Olamata, shekol ha'aymer davar b'shem aymer, maybe gulo la'olam shenemar. These are the memches dvarim shatorah niknas. These is what we have to focus on. If anybody asks me what's my job in Avodat Hashem, take the list, start figuring out what it means privately to you. Doesn't matter what anybody writes, and start working on these things. This is what's needed. The 48 ways. I think there's a there used to be a series by Matis Weinberg, not Matis Weinberg, by Noach Weinberg, founder of Asia Torah, an old Ner Yisrael boy. He had a whole series on the 48 ways. So he saw this as a tool of character development, not just for become Kisser Torah. And he taught Emunah this way. I think they printed a book. I know there was a series of tapes and discs. Now it's probably MP52, whatever it be. But I remember he was very interesting. So I think I saw a book, Rashis. I'm not sure. I think I saw a book. It's worth looking into. He was a very wise man. Shine Gandik. Okay, let's go back to business. Okay, we're continuing Bechut. Okay, I don't know if you looked up the different things I mentioned. I want to add a few comments before I go further. First of all, we clearly said in Das Rambam without question that the Bechut Torah is Zikr D'Rabbanan. I say this because the Ramban wants to think that the Rambam holds it D'Oraisa, and the only reason he doesn't mention the Mitzvah D'Oraisa is because it's part of Talmud Torah. The Kiyah Sefer says the same thing, but there's a big difference in the Kiyah Sefer and the Ramban. That's something important. You have the Kiyah Sefer today. I sent it to you. If you can open your phones and see it again. Before we open the Kiyah Sefer, let's just look at Lashon HaRambam. You have that too. So the Rambam, let's start Perek Zayin Hilchos Tefillah. Someone mentioned something yesterday, so I decided I'll be mashlim this. You hear me, Gidon? So basically, look at Perek Zayin Hilchos Tefillah. I waited for your answer to me, Mr. Man. You didn't send me an answer.
I still have to get back to you.
Why?
I'm still thinking about it.
Oh, well, you're back now, so I'll do the answer. Look at the Perek Zayin Tefillah. Halacha Aleph, if you have Rambams. If not, I'll read it to you. The first halacha says, Kishetiknu chachamim divrei tefillah is elu. This beforehand, we discussed that Chachamim were masakin the Nusach HaTfilah. This is found in Perek Aleph Tfilah, that basically Ezra or Beis Dinai were masakin divrei Tfilah. So it says, Tiknu Chachamim divrei Tfilah elu. The Chacham means the Anshik Knesset HaGdoila, Ezra or Beis Dinai. Tiknu brachas acheros. They also masakin different brachas. Levorach oisan b'chol yom, that they should be said daily. So we're not talking about Birchas HaMitzvahs. We're not talking about Birchas HaNenet. We're talking about itakana, just like they were masakin tefillas, they're masakin daily brachas. What are they? So he starts saying, Kishiyikana sadon mitasid lishayin balayla, b'vorach, he makes the bracha of Amapil, Yandik. And he explains also the Yeratzin after the Amapil. That's the first thing. Then he says, B'kayir pasha rishonim b'kriyat shma, etc. Yandik. That is all. He gets the first bracha that he mentioned. The bracha is Amapil, which goes together with the kriyat shma. The second bracha is b'shosha yekitz b'seif shnasai, after he wakes up at the end of his sleep. I like the words. I once heard from an old friend of mine, but when you wake up in the middle, we don't say you have to say anything. We wait for you to go further to shluch. You have to finish your sleep. Okay, this was a typical yeshiva bracha, which felt you can sleep more than normal. So what he says, what do you say? It's also Ezra Beidina. This is the kind of Shama, this is Halacha Gimel. This is all the Takonis Chazal. The fourth Halacha is Kishirmei HaKoil HaTarnagol. You guys shouldn't have a problem. You say, and this goes basically, the whole Halacha Daud is what you call the Birchas HaShachar. So he starts with Hamapel at night, he starts with the kind of Shama, and then we go there. And then it says, obviously, part of that Seder, he tells the tzur how that's done in Shulchan Aruch. I don't know how many people do this. And then it says, when he walks out, he says, Asher Yotzar. That's halacha hey. It's all part of the takanis of the daily takanis. Then he says, what? When he puts on his shoes, he says, etc. And after that, the end, he says, Shalayos and Igoy Ovid V'isha, that the Shittas are Rama on the Rip. Shmoinase brachas elu elem seder elem avoyach kol echad mehem al davar shabracha b'shvila b'shaitoi. So it depends what you did first. It says in halacha v'zayin, and then in halacha ches he gives nafkaminas for that. Then he says in halacha tes, these brachas that we've mentioned today, we all do it in the shul. Right? Halacha yud. And he continues the Seder Hayom of what? Of the brachas that the Chazal were masaking. And what the normal Seder Hayom, Amashkim Likras B'Torah Kodim Sheyikra Kriyas Shema. What does he do? Ben Kor B'Torah Shebiksav Ben Balpeh Noitel Yadav Tchila. That's a halach of what? That's pushed the halach of Seder Hayom. Okay? In context, this is part of those takanas to the bracha shoymrim b'chol yom. If in context, he's literally saying this is it's a mefusher Rambam. This is like a nice nefefin lafnim yom ben loyla. He doesn't even mention that that's a din of Talmud Torah. The Torah is tuna bracha. It's not as if shoes are told a bracha of what? Shasodiko tzarki. Walking is told a bracha of amechem mitzadei gover. Putting on the belt is a machayev. Is that what it is? It's a birchas a belt. No. So what's the difference between the birchas a belt and birchas a nalayim and birchas a Torah? What are they? They're all brachas made when you engage in certain activity. And just like birchas hashachar is a birchas hashvach when you engage in certain activity which resonates in the bracha, the same thing is Torah. And there you make 3 brachas. This is part of Seder Hayom, Mordechai Kulama. We see it starts, you woke up early. It doesn't say, Kol Pam Shalayim et Chayv V'ach Birchas Torah. Doesn't say that. And then he continues weiter in Halacha Yudal. B'chol Yom Chayv Adon L'vach Shalosh Brachas Elu V'achak K'ker Ma'at Torah. Every day you have to do this. In other words, what does it mean? What happens if you didn't sleep? You have to do this every day. We're not talking about dinner bichsa. You have to revoke these brachas. And after you did these brachas, what do? You're supposed to read a bit of Torah. It's part of Seder Hayom. It doesn't say b'chol yom im loim et chayev levarech bichsa Torah. No, this is a takanas chazal 3 brachas daily, which you're supposed to say it when you're about to learn, okay? So you should have to say it. There's a presumption to say these brachas. Elamai, you should learn right afterwards. What's this like? It's like birchas kriyas shema. There's an independent halach of saying these brachas. And Chazal and Masakin do it on kriyas shema. But there's an independent halach of saying the brachas. We during Ben Azman learned that Chuvas Rajba writes this explicitly. That if you didn't say kriyas shema, you can say the brachas alone without it. We learned that in Shuvas. Look at the Seder of the Rambam. So if anybody doesn't understand the Rambam, call Yom Chayiv. Right, Chayiv what? Birchas HaShachar. Part of Birchas HaShachar is Birchas, just like there's Birchas HaTorah, just like that Neslan Sech Vivina. The Nafkamina is, here there's no din of Chol Yom. What happens if you didn't sleep or you never took off your shoes? You don't make them again. Shosli Kotzorki. If you put on shoes, you have to, what happens if you're not going anywhere, you're not walking, you're laying in bed all day, you don't have to say, make them tzaddik gover. What happens if you're not made mobile? It's finished. If you're not going to tread on the earth, you're not going to say X and Y. Me'ikar adin. Today what people do is something else, but we're talking about Rambam. So that's the halacha b'choyim chayiv. This was the great diuk that I got. Yeah, Zichri is chayiv. What's he chayiv? To Mekayim, the first perik Zayin halacha aleph. And then he continues and says, "V'nogam likas birchas kainim." That's one. And we do everything in this Rambam. V'yesh mekayim shekem tzavos bnei Yisrael, which is what? Which is Parshas Atamid. Okay. V'yesh mekayim. What's this for? Muchach mikan. It's for the birchas HaTorah. V'yesh mekayim shekem shteyim. So both Parshas Atamid and birchas hakainim is for birchas HaTorah. V'kayim prakim. Oy halachas min Mishnah. Yes, we read Ezer Mekayman. Oy min Abrayis we read Rabbi Shmuel Omer. So all these things are different minhagim to because of the Birchas HaTorah. Now, by the way, you understand what they are. After the Poskim already gave them independent meaning of their own, but the Rambam points out lechatchila these are different minhagim to justify the Birchas HaTorah. The Rishon and Nesekem already discussed that the different minhagim are parallel to the 3 different brachas that we say in Birchas HaTorah. I'm not going to teach that now, but you can look at Nesekelim and you'll find them. Okay, but this is what this is. So does he bring a halach of Birchas HaTorah, or does it bring a halach of bracha b'chol yom of a shvach al the Torah, and you should make sure to learn something afterwards? Just like you should be chatchila the din of Birchas HaMa'oros, and etc. and Avarabba, and you should say Kriya Shema immediately. But that's not ma'akiv in the bracha. That's all you have here. That's what the Rambam brings in Hilchos Tefillah. Nothing more than that. And now let's look. He brings it one more. Where does he bring another time Birchas HaTorah? I'm trying to say I don't see how anybody could read anything else. Okay, and I think it's like Piyasa Bekutcha. Now go to. I'm doing this because you should understand. I'm fighting a windmill here against Allah. The Mishnah Berurah writes, "Roiva Pleiskavo Birchas HaTorah is deraisa." But Chedshon Gezak, Torah overlimited. So if I'm going to have a Suffolk Ladina, I'm going to have to follow them. What can I do? Alphabet the din is a Talmud Roy is not supposed to listen to the Shiggas Bezin. There's no din Choshe Yerucha Yemin Smoil if you're Roy. Well, I'm not Roy compared to the Shaggisaya, so I'm in good place. But that's a problem, okay? Vashtet and Perik Yud Beis. That's another place where he brings Birchas HaTorah. So you have Rambam and Perik Yud Beis. State Azai. The Perik Yud Beis is the halachas of Kriyas HaTorah. Not the halachas of Kriyas HaTorah and Perik Yud Beis. Moshe Rabbeinu Tikin Shukayim B'Tei B'Rabim B'Shabbos B'Sheni V'Chamishi B'Sheni V'Chamishi B'Shachris. This is what you know. This is our good old Takanas Moshe. There's no Kriyas HaTorah. Let's put that on the table. At least according to Rambam. There's no such thing as a Kriyas HaTorah D'Oraisa B'Tzibur. There's no such thing. There's no such thing that you have to read it b'tzibur in the Kriyas. Even if people will want to say the Parsha Zocher, maybe it's a din of Kriya b'teich Ksav. There's no din tzibur there, for goodness sakes. The whole halacha of tzibur by Kriyas HaTorah is what's it from? Does anybody know? Well, I'll tell you what it's from. It's a sugya in Megillah of Gimel and the sugya of Dvarim Shebekdusha. And the Ran says, what's the reason for Kriyas HaTorah B'Asora? Because Kriyas HaTorah is like a Maimed Har Sinai. And just like Maimed Har Sinai, there were certain Emo, B'Yira, Bereshes, B'Zeya, and there was Kol Klal Yisrael there. Therefore, we need 10 people, because 10 people are in Ada, which are representative of Kol Klal Yisrael. That's the reason. It's not a din of tzibur. It's a dinner. You have to be kinesinos. It's supposed to be, so to speak, the man is giving out the Torah connected Kol Klal Yisrael. That's the halacha, and that's why you can't lean on the beam, man. You have to stand straight. You're supposed to be be'emo, be'yer, be'reshes, or be'zayah. This is up in the Gemara and Brachos. Why do you think we have 3 aliyahs, one for Kohen, one for Levi, one for Yisrael? Because that represents the 3 types of people that were there at Har Sinai. Why do we have to have over there another sheet in Gemara? Why do we have to have 3? Because Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim. For goodness sakes, we're not learning Yeshua and we're not learning Divrei Hayamim. Why do I need 3 aliyahs for Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim? And the Teretz is because we know, as the Ramban says, the old Torah, all Nevi'im, all Ksuvim were kolul in what we got from Matan Torah. Read the Ramban and the Agdama. I can say it a million times if someone has to read the Agdama. That's why we're reminiscing of Matan Torah. And therefore, we're biyachid 3 at least for Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksubim, because it's kolul kinesi nasa. So it's a bezundra halacha of Torah kinesi nasa. That, believe me, there's no din of reading, but that's only if you want to do a takana of Takanas Moshe is to have a Kriyas HaTorah as a mini Har Sinai. There's no din deraisa parshas Amalek for that. There's no, it was never heard. It's nishdas zach. Parshas Amalek zechta different kinesinos. It's Allah on the yachid that you have to remember. Oh, you want to read B'tech Aksav? Read it B'tech Aksav. Does it need a dinner see before it? No. So even if it's a deraisa, what are we doing here? I say this because, well, I don't only say what. It's a davar pashut. Okay, and I might say Mecherer all right. I argue with this. You have to be able to at least think and prove a point, give a source, and don't quote me at Taz because that won't do. Okay, so you have to understand. I'm saying lechatchila. Okay, so nishdaz din. It's not a din of Torah b'tzibur. So there's no such thing as a Kriyas HaTorah deraisa. Not in Rambam. Man, I know this book well. There's nowhere, anywhere in this book. And I know in Shulchan Aruch, the only one brings an idea that it may be deraisa is a certain taz, and because of that, Erev Shabbos Zocher, they all tell you be mechaven the brachas, and I always say don't. You know what I mean? because the Gemara's the Ran says in Psachim that how do you know if you're a Talmid Chacham or not? If you're willing to say there's a suffix, but I'm Machriya. But just to follow like an idiot the crowd because they say so, that's beginning with B'chaysa she'odem nikayim Talmid Chacham or im loy. So you're the begetter im loy. You understand? So this is a b'yisa b'kutcha. Memele you have to understand. I'm saying that because I'm about to read a Kia Sefer. To me, is a Pella Atzum, which I'm sure there's a typo there. So what does it say? There he brings the halacha of Birchas HaTorah. So in Perek Yud Beis, where he brings this halacha of Kriyas HaTorah, B'tzivah Pachas Masor Gdalim Leichayrin, that's where he brings this halacha. There he says, what do we do? Perek Yud Beis halacha hey, Kol Echad Min HaKayim Poseach Sefer Torah, Umabid B'Makom Shu Karabay V'Achar Kach Eimer Baruch Hu Hashem HaMavarach V'Kol Ha'am Einim Baruch Hashem HaMavarach La'olam Va'ed, which is obviously, where's the mucker of this, for goodness sakes? This is not Birchas HaTorah. What's the mucker of this Baruch Hu? Anybody know? No, you don't know, so I'll have to tell you. So Gemara in Yuma, okay? It says that basically that there was a famous Kriyas HaTorah of Bimei Ezra. Actually, it said the Pasuk in Nehemiah, Bimei Ezra, that he read the Kriyas HaTorah in the street outside of the Beis HaMikdash, where that's where he gave the big Teichacha and told them about walking away from their non-Jewish wives. And he read there a big Kriyas HaTorah. That's the famous time when he told them, Al tivku v'al ta'artzu, chetves Hashem imuzchem, don't be terribly sad, God will help you. He's talking about Rosh Hashanah over there. That was the Kriyas HaTorah. And he read the Kriyas HaTorah, B'chayv Shel Ir. And there it says over there that he was Megadle B'Shem HaMefarish. First meant he was Megadle B'Shem HaMefarish. The Gemara, you can't say Shem HaMefarish in the street. So the Gir says, there he said, Baruch Hashem HaMevarach. Baruch HaMevarach is Gidl B'Shem HaMefarish. When you say Baruch Hashem HaMevarach, you're implying, I'm saying Yud Aleph Daled Nun Yud, but I mean Yud Kei Vav Kei. Baruch HaMevarach is a pseudonym for Shem HaMefarish. Just want you to know. So the klal is, we learned from Ezra that before we make a bracha on the Torah, we evoke the Shem Hashem. Now, why would we do that? It's a bisa b'kutcha, because this is kinnesinasa. This is kinnesinasa, whereas the Gilui Shechina. So we say, Baruch Hashem HaMevarach. What do you think you met over there, Har Sinai? You think you met Aleph Daled Nun Yud? You met Yud Kei Vav Kei. Read Chumash. What did it say? The pasuk describes what did we meet? We met Elokim Chayim. Do you remember that? Hashema Am Elokim Chayim Medaber Mitoich Ha'esh. That's what you saw. You met in the Esh Elokim Chayim. What's meant Elokim Chayim? The Lord, which is the source of all life. When we say source of all life, what is the primary source of all life? Is Hoyve Kadman Shemimenu HaKoil B'Chepetz V'Yachaylis. So that person which we should serve, he is the source of our lives, equal that's Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is Mislabish and Elokim. That's called Elokim Chayim, if you want to understand. I just taught you something. That's what we met. So that's why we have to say Baruch HaMevarach by Kriyas HaTorah. That's what it says. Hashem Elokeinu melech ha'olam, asher b'chabanim mikol ha'amim v'nasalonu teirasei, Baruch Hashem Noisen HaTorah, and then it says B'chol ha'am einim amen. Why? Because the pasuk in the Nehemiah says V'anu ha'am amen amen. Because that was the tzura of the Kriyas HaTorah. The B'zindra Allah is not amen after a bracha. It's an amen. That is the tzura of how this is done. We need a bracha with an amen. What's the getter of that amen? So the getter of that amen is just like the Gemara says in Shvuah Sa'edis that I mentioned yesterday. You also are mitzaref to that bracha. It's a brachas atzibur. You have to be able to say amen on the bracha. According to Seder Rambam, if you came late and you didn't say amen, you didn't fulfill that aliyah. Because this is the tzura, the Kriyas HaTorah. If you came late, you didn't hear the bracha, then your amen is not mitzaref to the bracha. Okay, it's an amen yisayma. You might find yourself another minyan, or wake up 2 minutes earlier for mincha. Okay, Surah, out of Mekayim, the din of Kriyas HaTorah. The Rambam is not bringing this is where he brings the halacha. And then he writes, now let's ask yourself the simple question. So it's interesting. So how many brachas, how many times does the Rambam bring the halacha? There he describes the 3 brachas that we have, right? We have a Shabachar, we have a Lasaik, the Divisera, Vaharevna, right? You can read the 3 brachas that we have. He says, Asher Kitchanu, Harevna, and then we have Nice and Atayra, and then we have Shabachar Banu. 3 brachas. Okay, here we have 1. So this is what's he telling. So this is clearly not the makom for Birchas HaTorah, because the nusach of Birchas HaTorah, the Gemara says, is the ikar brachas, dafka is the 3 brachas that he mentions over there in Perek Zayin Halacha Yud. So here he's saying a b'zimdra halacha, the tzura of Kriyas HaTorah. This is where he's bringing this bracha. So I have no source anywhere in Rambam book per se that a person which is in the middle of the day and hasn't learned yet has to make a bracha on Birchas HaTorah outside of that source in Perek Zayin Halacha Yud Aleph b'chol yom chayav levorach midin chayv v'sayayim. It's just like he has to put on, if he's finally going to put on shoes, you have to say shasodi kotzaki. I don't care when you put on the shoes. That's when you're supposed to say. That's me ikar din. We're not to say it in shul, okay? But that's the ikar din. We have no din of the Torah is mechayiv bracha. The only place we have a Birchas HaTorah in the sense that we actually writes down this nusach is only in the tzura of Kriyas HaTorah. This is what we have. Now, it's in light of this, so I'm saying again, does he mention anywhere it's a chayva deraisa? No. All he mentions, either it's a din d'Rabbanan bichlal, and there's another halacha, the tzura of saying this of this. Now, where's the makar? The makar is Ezra. Well, Ezra's different Kabbalah, very nice. But the whole Kriyas HaTorah is only a din d'Rabbanan, so it can't be more than a tzura, a d'Rabbanan, and a d'Rabbanan. So there's no way you're going to learn that the Perek Yud Beis is talking about a chayva deraisa. It's impossible. Now, in light of this, go back to the key. It's safe. This is a beginner. Sometimes I get questions that I really don't know how to answer. If you go back on your phone to the Kia Sefer that I sent you yesterday, and this is going on Perek Yud Beis. In other words, he doesn't mention anything in Perek Zayin, which is the first place where we bring the din of Birchas HaTorah. He doesn't mention a word. Doesn't mention it at all. Nothing at all. You can look at Perek Zayin. He only starts with the din of Chayil Vach Mea Brachas Midrabanan. Very nice. That's all he brings. He doesn't even mention the Birchas HaTorah in Perek Zayin. If you open up a Kia Sefer, easy to get. It's in the library. Many Rambams have it in the back of the Rambam. Look it up. In Perek Yud Beis, where we have the halacha of Birchas HaTorah on Kriyas HaTorah specifically, with a nusach different than the 3 brachas that we have in Perek Zayin, not the classical Birchas HaTorah that you and me have, okay? And then we have at the end bracha Shenasa Lanu, which is not mentioned derech agav in, so to speak, the other in Perek Zayin. It is the only place we have a concept halacha Shenasa Lanu. So he says Birchas HaTorah lefanei min HaTorah. Shenema kishem avaya ekov v'gadol Elokeinu. You look and says, hello? What are you doing? If this is true, why didn't you write this in Perek Zayin? In the first place, this is mentioned. Why would you bring it only in Perek Yud Beis? I'm asking on the Kiyat Sefer. I don't understand him. A. B. Where is there any indication the Rambam calls this a deraisa? As opposed to Perek in Hilchos Brachos, Perek Aleph, a Birchas Hamazon, he writes mitzvahs, asay min HaTorah, levarach, etc. after you eat. Then he says something worse. He writes, Rambam she'ena mayna isa. Why doesn't the Rambam count this mitzvah? Mitzvah b'fnei atzma nira dehi b'chal mitzvahs Talmud Torah. So it's a din all Talmud Torah. Where is then the Rambam halacha of a bracha on all Talmud Torah? I don't learn to say din like Birchas Hayom in Perek Zayin. Here I learned to say sin tzur Talmud Torah the tzibur. Where did we get this? I don't know where he sees. I'm not joking when I say this. I would. You have no. I will. Mamish do everything I can for you if you can be miyashiv this for me. Right? It's worse. Then he goes weiter and says, Aber he midaraisa. Good. That's a chayinger at a kinderbuch. Sunt mit mir. Then he says next, ubekrias Torah b'tzibur. Kishehi midaraisa. Maybe if you don't have the text in front of you, write down the words. Ubekrias Torah b'tzibur. Sorry, hakare lamoid ubeloi smicha. The man is seen as Torah ba'amida. Ve'ema kiriksiv ve'yanu ve'yamdu kach kriyas Torah ve'ema ubiyira. There's no didn't nasa by kriyas Torah a regular Monday and Thursday. Is it possible? We know the Gemaras and Brachas that all limud Torah has to be be'ema b'yira. This is a Yerushalmi, if you want to know, in Megillah, which elaborates on the halachas of be'ema b'yira. That's all Piskei Rambam based on the Yerushalmi and the Rif. There's no way. Obviously, there's only about Kriya D'Oraisa. A, B. Show me the Kriya D'Oraisa. Is there anywhere in Rambam where it's written there's a Kriya D'Oraisa? It's not there. Don't you understand? It's simply not there. What does it mean? If you take away the words Kishi D'Oraisa, you'd simply write Kriyas Torah B'tzibur. Yes, it's a mini Matan Torah, so you have to be Be'ema B'yira. Granted, that would be beautiful. What do the words Kishi D'Oraisa mean? You can't be talking about the Kriya because there is no such Kriya, which is D'Oraisa. En kazeh davar. It's not that hard today to finish Rambam, right? To go roll through it just once for the kicks. I promise you, it's not in Hilchos Truma, it's not in Hilchos Maasros. Okay, where can it be? Okay, you get up. It's either going to be in Hilchos Tefillah, or you're going to look wherever you bring the din of Zikar and Amalek. It's at Hilchos Malachim. See if he mentions a din of Kriyas Torah at all. Well, I don't want to hurt you, but no. Oh, but what a minute, there's some kind of a taisis, which is a typo that every made halacha, the parshas pours are there, right? So, but they all of a sudden the people tell me also I should be yoitz of the bracha and parshas pora. You know, I almost puke. How thick can a person be? It's beyond contempt. I must say the honest truth. Nicht in Rambam, nicht in Shulchan Aruch, nicht in Tur. There's no such thing as a Kriyas Torah D'Oraisa. So this has to be a typo. Now the question is it just like out of the blue? Is it a repetition of the previous words? He midiraisa. This is he midiraisa, and some idiot added a chaf. Or is this supposed to be somewhere? Or is he alluding to the bracha mentioned before? Ubekriyas Torah, b'tzibur, that she equals the bracha is D'Oraisa. Then you have, in that case where the bracha is D'Oraisa, the din of kinesi nasa, and you have to stand be'ema b'yira. Now there is a Yerushalmi like that says that the bracha, only source, the primary source, the Geshem Hashem Ekra, is only on minimum berabim. 3 people, not 10, 3 rabim, 3. By us, there's no such thing as rabim because we need kinesi nasa. It's 10, but basically it's a din of berabim. Could be 3, okay? And our rabbi has to be 10. So he points. That's what I'll show you the Yerushalmi shortly. So what's he trying to say? In a case where there's a din of Torah Barabim, where the bracha is D'Oraisa, then there's a halacha of kinesi nasa. That's actually very good because there's no din of kinesi nasa by Torah b'yachid. You can sit when you're learning Torah, which is Torah Barabim. There's a din of kinesi nasa, but Torah b'yachid, there's no din of kinesi nasa. Where is the nafkamina? Where is the one nafkamina la'alacha? As far as Rabbim and Yochid, what nafkamina will be b'chas haTorah. I'll show it to you in 2 minutes. Okay, you have the Yerushalmi that I look at in your phones on the Yerushalmis that I sent you. If you have them, that's the Yerushalmi in Brachas in the 7th perek. I'm going to go through the drushes of Yerushalmi, if you don't mind. First, I sent you page Vilna, and there in the underlined lines it says, Kosuv b'Torah bracha lefaneh, ve'en kosuv b'Torah bracha la'achareh. Ma ksiv ba lefaneha, ki shem Hashem eko v'gadol Elokeinu. Good. This is paralleled, very similar to the Gemara in Brachas Chaf Aleph, that there's a din of ki shem Hashem eko v'gadol Elokeinu. If you flip to the next source, which is the second side of that Rebbe Omer, Rebbe says, Ma'im b'shosha ochal v'sova. If you ate and you were satisfied, tzorach levorech, nu, b'shoshu toyev lechol. If you're mamish like hungry to eat, loy kol shekain. So in other words, if from the din of birchsa mazon achareh, we make a kal v'chomer for birchsa nenim lefaneh. Hello. Is that a kal v'chomer? If this would be a din deraisa, is this also a kal v'chomer deraisa? Does Rebbe hold that what the birchsa nenin is deraisa? Maybe you should learn brachas. You understand? No, it's not. L'chayr, this is only telling you it's in a smachta. So the Gemara weiter. The Gemara is at kedain mazon Torah ma. So what did it say? Im mazon she'ena elo chayisha. Tom bracha lifanav ulacharav. Torah she'i chayat loy kolshken that you need a bracha lifaneh and leachareh. So if Moshe writes very truly, he says, "V'nayin lamadnu the hashta lerebedi alfina lemazon mikav l'chaymer la'acharav shuton gam lefanav." He holds it steraisa. Im kein sula matzinu lemelev Torah mikav l'chaymer mimazon. My mazon she'ena tana bracha lefanav min aksav she'enim mikav l'chaymer. Ve'en tzachra l'rmos the birchsa Torah minayin. We don't need that either because everything is learned from the kal v'chomer. Equals according to Rebbe. We don't learn for Kishem Hashem Ekav Gadol Elokeinu. We basically learn again birchsa mazon. We learn kal v'chomer deraisa lefaneh mi bracha la'achareh. And then Mamela, we equate that a kal v'chomer. If you for food you do lefaneh v'achareh, for chaya olam you definitely do lefaneh v'achareh. Okay, this is an interesting possibility. Okay, one has to know that the bracha is on the is preserving life, a temporal life. You make a bracha lefaneh v'achareh, preserving perpetual life, which is Torah. Eitz chayim mazikim ba. You definitely need a bracha. So he doesn't learn Kishem Hashem Eko Gadol Elokeinu. So we have two approaches. We have the approach to the Brayso in the beginning, which we know is Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav in Brachas Chaf Aleph. And here we have the member of Rebbe, which he doesn't learn from that pasuk. We pointed that out already in the past. And yesterday we explained why there's good reason not to learn from that pasuk. The last two lines, I want you to read this carefully with me. Omer Madnu Birchsa Torah Birchas Hazimun Ela L'Rabbi. We are learning Birchas Hamazon not from Kishem Hashem Ekav Gadol Elokeinu. We learn it from Birchas HaZimun or Birchas HaZimun. Well, what does he say further? V'im l'Rabbi in a Lebeinu lo yivah. That's my lo yivah. Zimun is with the rabbi, but how do I know about Talmud Torah de Yachid? Two things. Now, where did we learn it from Birchas HaZimun? Well, the only place we know that we learn from is not from the Kal v'chomer, because the Kal v'chomer is not talking about Birchas HaZimun. It's talking about Birchas HaMazon. Where did we learn from Birchas HaZimun? Therefore, we would say it has to be just like Zimun is Berabim, also Torah is Berabim. The only source to say we learn from Birchas HaZimun is what? From the drasha of Kishem Hashem Eka Havu Gadol Elokeinu. What are we saying according to that? Just like Birchas HaZimun. How did we know the din of Zimun? The pasuk said, the Gemara says in the beginning of Shleisha Sha'achol, literally the beginning of the seventh parak. That there's a din of Zimun. From the pasuk, two psukim, either Gadol Hashem Iti or Kishem Hashem Eka Havu Gadol Elokeinu. We pointed it out yesterday, and we pointed out that's clearly nothing more than a smachna. It's only because the whole zimun is a din d'rabbanan. Like no one dreams that Zimun is deraisa, and you definitely don't learn it from a pasuk in Tehillim, for goodness sakes. That the pasuk of Gadol Hashem Iti and Elinu Rishma Yaakov don't work too well. So what are you saying now? You're saying, obviously it means to say this, what Shmuel Bar Avdimi is saying, if we're learning it from God, from Kishem Hashem Ekav Gadol Elokeinu, we're learning it from Birchas HaZimun. Just like Birchas Kishem Hashem Gadol Elokeinu, we understand that is a din of Birchas HaZimun. So we're now saying, if that's the case, we apply that same idea also to Birchas HaTorah. We're learning from the equation is literally that same pasuk which he has Birchas HaZimun is allusion also to create to the din of Torah, and therefore we're not going to differentiate between Torah and Zimun. Just like Zimun is 3, this is also 3. That's what he writes. So that's the case. It's only 3. How do I know bracha shebechol you and me when we sit and learn? That's the question of Shmuel Bar Avdimi. Leilamda Birchas HaTorah Birchas HaZimun. Elo l'rabim, v'im l'rabim, afilu beina bein atzma lo yivorech. If that's the case, you only learn l'rabim. So beina bein atzma, you shouldn't be making a bracha. No. Does anybody here think that Birchas HaZimun is deraisa? So what are we learning? We're learning from Birchas HaZimun. There's a special din d'Rabbanan of bracha al Talmud Torah d'Rabim. Now, again, normally that Rabbim could be 3. The only reason that practically we don't do it that way, because the only time we have Talmud Torah Rabbim is in Kriyas HaTorah, and because it's Kinisina, so that 3 becomes 10. Where's the nafkamina? There is one nafkamina. Shitas Rashi in Sefer HaPardes says that also when you learn Talmud Torah Rabbim, like I am doing at the moment, there's a special din of Birchas HaTorah, not just Kinisina. So we learn Taka from Zimun, the Talmud Torah Rabbim, you make a brach. So Rashi, when he used to come to the Beis Medrash to teach, he used to make another Birchas HaTorah, and at the end of the year, he finished it. He used to make Asher Nasan Lanu. The Rashba brings this down in brachas, and it's in Sefer HaPardes. Maybe I'll send it to you to show the Mari Makkah. That's nice. That Taka was not a din of Kinsinasa. He's Taka, there's a din of Talmud Torah Rabbim. Could be. I have no problem with that. But then when the Gemara asked the question, well, if that's the case, there's no makkah of learning saying Birchas HaTorah b'yachid. Mefurish, I repeat. If we're learning it from Zimun, there's no one dreams it's deraisa. So now there's a new question. What about b'yachid? He shouldn't say a bracha. What's the problem? Maybe he shouldn't. It's just bitmia. Like, is it really true? Like, we don't do that. We know we all make a bracha. So the Gemara Amar of Abamori Achved Rabbi Yosi, Abamori, the brother of Rabbi Yosi, what did he answer? Why are we making a bracha b'yachid if we don't learn it from Birchas HaZimun? So the Gemara Asua Kishar Kol Mitzvah Shel Torah. They decided that Limud Torah is like, they made it, they equated like all other mitzvahs, which are really interesting language. I thought it is. Isn't Torah a mitzvah? What's meant asua kishar mitzvah shel Torah? They had to do a special asiyah on this. What the lashon asua kishar mitzvah shel Torah? Ma shar kol mitzvahs tuna is bracha. Abzu tuna bracha. What's pshat in the shakla v'tarya? It's before this shakla v'tarya. Once again, if you're looking for a mucker of the Rambam, that this whole drush is old. I want to give you. I want to tell you something. A big aside. I'm going to read a Yerushalmi to you, something Yerushalmi that one should always know. Let's see if I can find it. Now that would be very nice. Let's see if I can find it. That would be beautiful. It's here in the beginning of the second page of Brachos. Just 1 minute. Beautiful Lashon Yerushalmi. Here it is. It's in Brachas Perik Beis in the Vilna Shas is Daf Yud Daled Beis. Remember this Lashon, a very important Lashon. Rabbi Yochanan Kai Dema Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan said, Kol Mile Delay Mechavra, everything which isn't clear. Misam Chilei Min Asrin Sagi. We bring rayas from many different places. In other words, you'll see any place where there's a lot of drushes on it, that means they're all asmachtas. That's what the Moshe says. So the Moshe called milad le mechaber shein kosav beferish. Elo das machina le adrasha dekra misamchle min asrin sigin from mimekaymes harbe. V'lei kasha kol hani lama lishari einor elo asmachtus. So if we have Kishem Hashem Ekra, I have Zimun, I have Bechsamazn, I have a Kal V'chaymer, because it's all asmachtus. That's why everyone's bringing it from different places, because it's not mefurish in the Torah. It's a very important Yerushalmi to remember. When you see a lot of different drushes coming from different places, key number one, it's probably an asmachta. Okay, that's an important Yerushalmi to remember. I hope you write down the Ma'ar Malkim. Okay, so whenever there's the Loi Mechavra, it's not clear and flourish, you'll find there's a lot of sources. This is literally what's happening here between Kishem Hashem Ekra, this Kipshute, Kal V'chaymer B'chsamazn, Zimun, and ich weiß nicht, Zimun, bis sie kommt zu Kal V'chaymer dort, was dazu das ist, Milzut Loi Mechavra, where they bring Mikrain's Gi, and equal to Smachtas. It almost can't be otherwise. But what we have here is something interesting. What does it mean, Asua Kishakom and Sosel Shotera? It's muchach here that there's two Agdoros in Birchas HaTorah. It's very clear that Birchas HaTorah alone is not primarily a Birchas HaMitzvah. The Raya is because the fact of the matter is there's no mitzvahs asay of Talmud Torah D'Rabba. There's no mitzvahs asay of Talmud Torah D'Rabba more than Talmud Torah D'Yachid. So why would you think that you're only going to learn it from Zimun for that? A, B. Goodness sakes, it's a birchas. Well, you need a bracha with your rabbanik. It's a birchas mitzvahs. What do you gain here? The answer is a davar pasha. They decide Chazal were misakein on Torah brachas just like birchas Kriya Shema, as I said before, which is literally, if you look at the lashon of the Ramban and the Sefer HaMitzvah that you have, what he thinks is the Raisa, that same Hagdorah is the getter of Birchas Torah. It is not a bracha on the mitzvah of Limud Torah. It's when we learn Torah, we thank God for choosing us and letting us know what He wants from us in order to fulfill our lives with meaning, purpose, and direction. Etc. These are all the things. We even ask, please make it comfortable and easy because we want to know more. We want our children to know more, etc. All these different things. Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's birchas hashvach, an appreciation of the matana of Torah that we do. When do we say it? You could say it anytime. No chazal or masakin to say it daily and some kind of a limud Torah. And some kind of a limud Torah. It's not the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. It's the limud Torah. The limud Torah which He gave us has it. Now that doesn't mean it's not mesukin on the mitzvah. This I can go on, but it's very late. It's clear from everybody that it's not just on Torah, because that's what He commanded us with. He commanded us to learn Torah. He tied us up to Him to learn Torah, and that relationship that He has with us is a mitzvah mitzvah, and He created this glue between us of limud and Torah. We appreciate what He gave us. So it's not just thank you. It's not just birchas mitzvah. It's a birchas hashvach, birchas haidah, on learning. Now it's more than that. It's a din like birchas kriya shema. That's the tzura of how you're supposed to be mekayim kriya shema. You're supposed to be mekayim kriya shema with the tzura of these brachas, although they are separate entities. As we learned during this in the Rambam Shita, that although a suffix in the Raisa and mitzvahs, we do the mitzvah l'chumah, we don't make a bracha, but in suffix kriya shema, which is also the Raisa, and we say it again, we have to say it with the brachas. Shitas Rambam is that all other brachas are not a tzura in the mitzvah. It's a bracha plus a mitzvah. Masha enken birchas kriya shema are the tzura of how Chazal were masakin, how they want you to become the mitzvah kriya shema. They incorporate that as part of the parsha of kriya shema. That's when you have a suffix, you have to do it with the brachas. It's very clear that this is what Chazal said here too. They believe that Talmud Torah, the tzura of limud Torah, goes with brachas. You're supposed to thank God and immediately learn. In the halacha of the Talmud Torah D'Rabbim, there they said the tzura of Talmud Torah D'Rabbim is you want to do Talmud Torah D'Rabbim, it has to be a tzura of the Sinus Torah. Be'ikr the mill sits even by Shleisha, hypothetically, but mitzvah dinkin and sinas it's 10. But the din of birchas Torah b'tzibur is not totally in 10. That's only by Kriyas Torah. It comes out to be 10, but it's from another halacha. You don't learn from Zimun the idea of 10. The idea is Torah B'Rabim. Torah B'Rabim has a din of Haidah al the Nesina. That's the halacha, and that's the drop. That's the getter of the din. It's not a birchas mitzvahs. The purpose of birchas mitzvahs is to remind us, as I taught you during this, that what we're doing is the service of God. It's a ritva and psachim that we learned during this. The purpose of Limud Torah is not to remind us that it's a mitzvah of God, to thank God for the Torah that we're about to read. We appreciate the context of the relationship in which we have the Torah. It's a different focus. Why don't we make a regular birchas mitzvahs on this? We know the meiri that we learned, that once we make a bracha which is appropriate for it, they were not misakin a mitzvah birchas mitzvahs. The meiri, the last meiri in the first parak of brachas that says, why isn't there a birchas mitzvahs on Kriyat Shema? So he says, since they were misakin brachas which are appropriate for Kriyat Shema, equals brachas which are part of the tzura of Kriyat Shema, they were not misakin there and added bracha of Hashem Kitchanim mitzvahs of Tzivah. That's the Mefurish meiri. Here too, they were not misakin the din of birchas mitzvahs because what they had is a bracha of shvach on the fact that he gave his Torah in format of a tzivui. So even Asher Kitchonim Mitzvahs of Tzivanu, don't be marked as that part as a birchas mitzvah. It's a birchas shvach on the fact that we have this involvement in Torah. The Gemara puts those three brachas together. If you open up Yud Aleph from a Beis and brachas, you'll see it. This is what the Rishalmi has. But if all that is only true in Torah D'Rabim, and they weren't why weren't they were they mistaken the birchas mitzvahs by Torah D'Yochid? So it says yes, although in Torah D'Rabim they were not mistaken the birchas mitzvahs. Why? Because it has the appropriate bracha of shvach on the Sinas HaTorah, just like birchas Kriyat Shema for Kriyat Shema, and they were not mistaken Hashem Kishan mitzvahs for birchas mitzvahs on Kriyat Shema. So that's so Enochanam by Torah D'Rabim. They were not misaken. They weren't misaken it because they have another type of a bracha. Masha'enkim by Torah D'Yochid Enochanami. This they equated to all other birchas and mitzvahs. It comes up from the Yerushalmi, the same bracha. When you do it in Talmud Torah D'Rabim, it's a birchas shvach on the Sinas HaTorah v'tzivuya period, which is part of the Tzuras Limud HaTorah. Mashenkim, when you learn it b'yachid, it's halacha birchas of mitzvahs, like putting on tefillin and having tzitzis. So the nusach may be the same, but the agdor and halacha is totally different. This is al the tzad, even that's Rabban. I'm not talking on Da'iraisa. This is the tzad now. That needs to be clear as day. This is the pshat in this Yerushalmi. Okay, we have to stop now. The klal is we learn from all this. I think that a lot of new things have been taught here. That I can put my bottom dollar. You won't find it printed anywhere. Not because I looked, but I'm telling you the truth. It's a double push it. We learned a lot of big Yesodis, and the biggest Yesodis we have to remember that when we learned Torah, we had Lushon Ramban, we have to Moida Shebacha Banu V'Nasa Lanos Teirasai, and we have to think what Teirasai is. I taught you multiple times. The Teirus Hashem is Chochyu V'Chochmasai Echadu, and through that we're Davik Ba'atzmis HaChochma, and that's what we should thank God for. So I think that's the most important thing. I worked very hard to be able to say Abba Rabba B'Kavanah. Took me years. You should try it. You know, you're young. Maybe by the time you hit 40, you'll actually do it. You should look at each word there and say, do you mean what you're saying? I'm not joking. You do that. That would the Tyson, the Yerushalmi said that's also birchas Torah. Oh, Tosta, no, that's definitely not birchas mitzvahs. Abba Rabba is birchas Torah. If you didn't say birchas Torah before, you're mechaven with that. And then the Taisha said, but you should learn something except for Kriyat Shema right after Shemona Esrei. Because to show there's not just tefillah, it's birchas Torah. But you're mekayim birchas Torah with that. There's no ashik. What's that? There's nothing like, God, we need this. We're dying for it. I can't live without it. I can't live if living is without you. It's also a teichacha megula ba'ava mushateris. that the person who disturbs someone in the middle of learning, he's pushed the shayfach damim. Because what's this man doing? He's being davik b'Kadosh Baruch Hu b'chachmasai. Does has ki'em chayenu? It doesn't mean ki'em masha osim b'chayenu. Ki'em chayenu. This is the essence of my life. It doesn't mean ki'em masha osim b'chayenu. It's ki'em chayenu. This is the essence of our life. I don't know if you actually say that. You're right. I mean, try davening Ma'ariv and believing it. Don't snicker when you say it. Like, I'm not God. This is my life. Oh yeah, I guess you only live for 5 hours a day. So how exactly do you live for the other 19? So maybe you should think, God, I wish to will to want to aspire that one day this will be Ki'em Chayim. In your head, you may have to say that. Or you say, no, Ki'em Chayim she'el achirim. Ich weiß, I know what you're going to be chapping by Ma'ariv. You figure it out. You're saying Ki'em Chayim, and if God is not senile. Because if you wouldn't want to talk to him. And you're telling him, Ki'em Chayenu. How can you dare lie in front of you? What do you think? He thinks he actually looks at you like an idiot. You're a basket case. You're talking to me and you're telling me that I lied to my face. Sorry. Do you say Uvolitzion? Chantarish. The question is, to what extent is this at least an aspiration or a truth? Brichza Torah daily is supposed to conjure up these images. And supposed to start thinking, no, nothing's going to happen when you didn't start now. You're young. What are you, 18, 19, 20? You work like a horse, until you're 40, you'll get somewhere. Okay? But that's the truth. That's what this is really all about. So I really hope you got something out of this little mini series. I could actually teach this for the next, we're doing Acharecha. And I have to know when Shir is, because you're all Yom Tov people, right? So we can start Sunday, right? Can we start Sunday? You don't have Yom Tov. Your Yom Tov Sheni is Shabbos, correct? Yom Tov Sheni is Shabbos. Very good. So you're like all the normal people in the world. We can all learn on Sunday. So Sunday, 6 o'clock, 6:15, whatever it's called. We're starting the real ball crack. We have to do that fast because Tuesday he's starting to say the Shir Klali. No good, so we'll do Sunday and Monday. Know what the din is on Tuesday. What time is the Shir Klali? 12 o'clock. Probably 12 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is already mutter after the Shir Klali. May have to check out what the halachas are. And then we'll do Kiddin. Have a beautiful, meaningful Yom Tov. Don't forget to look up that Leiv Dover, the Chidah, and that Pilla Yaitz of the Barapapo, and use that night like a real good, wise person. Do not be party to flock behavior. Flock behavior means that don't think and just follow what people do. That's the last thing a person does in life. Goodness sakes, be individuals. God trusts you. God gives you an individual personality. You must embrace that. You must be individuals. A very important word. Okay? Adam nivra yechidi. There's no one like you. There was never anybody like you in history, and there will be no one after you. So imagine you have a very special place in history. Use it wisely. Have a beautiful Yom Tov. Bye, guys. I love you all.